Yo, what's good with it? What's poppin'? Welcome to another segment of 4th and 1. Well, I always got it done. Bringing facts by the time before the... Man, listen, the OG is here. The man, the myth, the legend. His mama call him Stephen Anthony. So what would be me any different not to call him Stephen Anthony? I present to some and introduce to others the legendary, the man of many talents.
Well,
the culture catalyst, Stephen A. Smith.
Nobody introduced me like him. Nobody introduced me. What's up, baby? What's up, baby?
Welcome.
How you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. How you doing, bro?
First question.
Yes, sir.
Why so many people hate you?
People hate the truth. They hate the fact that they can't sway you from telling the truth. And I don't, some of it you take personal when they try to come at me with the wrong shit. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
But if you going to hold me accountable for what I say and you contextualize it properly, I'm a big boy. I can take it. It's the inaccurate stuff. I'm the kind of person that believes I give you enough to come at me for what I actually say and do rather than you having to make it up.
Yeah.
And I think that, when you think about what I say, the biggest thing that I hang on, I don't get personal. I don't get into people's personal business.
Gotcha.
So I could see some stuff. And my business. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't breaking no laws. It ain't in police blotters. Ain't none of my business. But what you do on the field or the court of play or inside the ring, that's I got to chronicle that. And so when people take that and then all of a sudden that qualifies you as a sellout, but two black people are going against one another, you critical of one, you praising another. Yeah. When it come to politics and I'm sitting there like, this policy works for us, this policy hasn't worked for us. When I'm looking at you and I'm sitting there since 1964, y'all been doing this to us, been saying this to us, but I'm calling you on it, and that's a problem when I'm looking out for my community.
Yeah.
If you think that that's a reason to hate on me, then hate away. I don't have time for it. I'm gonna keep marching forward. I know how much I love us. I know how much I love my family, my friends, my community. I know what I've done.
For sure.
It's a fact. It's not feelings, it's fact. And I know that, and I got data and information to back it up. If you want to ignore all of that and hate me, hate away. I ain't gonna lose a bit of sleep over it. I'm gonna keep marching forward.
You balance it so well, though. And speaking about that, how do you balance it, too? Because it's like you can't really put you in a lane. Right? And it's like politics, sports. I don't even know what's next. I mean, on TV, daytime TV, and it's just like, bro, what is Stephen A. going to do next? My question is, how do you compartmentalize and balance all of those things?
Well, first of all, I work my ass off.
Yeah.
Facts.
My attitude is I couldn't play like that, so I better know how to do something. You know what I'm saying? I better know how to do something. That's number one. So I work my ass off. I put my head down. I make sure that I'm committed to try to be the best that I can be at what I do.
Yeah.
And secondly, I try to help as many people as I can. I try to help as many brothers and sisters as I can. It's not an accident that you see a lot of people on television and coming through or whatever, because I push for stuff like
Yes,
that.
sir.
That stuff matters to me, and I stand on that. So my attitude is like, listen, Cam play football, so he can't do this? You shouldn't have a podcast. Shouldn't have a show. Shouldn't be giving your opinions on various other things because you play football? Really? How I sound? How anybody sound coming like that? There's a multitude of things that folks can do. And I applaud athletes and I applaud artists who have shown us they've got the courage and the confidence and the work ethic to show you that they're not one-dimensional. I'm not one-dimensional, and I've proven that. And I'm going to continue to prove it. I might get into a little acting. I might get into a little acting.
I see you.
I might do something
Come
like
on,
that.
brother.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't put it past me.
You all right now?
I might do some stuff like that on top of everything else that I'm doing. I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
That's my attitude, and I'm not gonna stop.
Listen, I want to touch on something real quick. I want to be vulnerable.
Okay.
And I think oftentimes in our culture, that's hard for especially black men to do.
Yep.
Vulnerable moment. What has really impacted you that got to you, that you may have heard or observed?
Nah, it's easy. It's easy. When people are calling me, accusing me of selling out my community, as they've been doing over the last few months, it's hurt. I ain't gonna front. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, that's okay, that it didn't hurt, it didn't sting me. I ain't cry over it. I didn't lose sleep over it, but it hurt me.
Yes.
Because, I'm a person that I almost lost my career in 2009 because I'm fighting for us. Yeah, it was over a contract dispute, but what happened a year earlier was me going into the bosses and complaining about some things that was going on with us. Yeah. And the next thing you know, a year later, my contract didn't get renewed. I saw people, the things that I've done for HBCUs, the things that I've done for us in our community, in this business, what I've strived to do. I'm not responsible for people getting hired or fired and stuff like that, but I've always fought the good fight.
Yeah.
And to watch people, you might disagree with my perspective, and to say because of that, black people don't mess with you. I had somebody that was near and dear to me in my life tell me over text message a week ago, black people don't fuck with you. And I'm like, what? Now, you see me at HBCU.
For sure.
You see me in our community. You see me here on Radio Row. Yeah. People see me at the games in the locker rooms. That's not what I get. First Take's #1. My Sirius XM show is #1. Both shows, political and sports and all of this other stuff. But for somebody to even say that to me, shit hurt. Yeah. It hurts. And I'm the kind of person that I'll never get engaged in vengeance.
Yeah.
But you can't talk to me no more.
But
I'm not messing with you.
What I would say is this, because my answer to that is my relationship with black women.
Right.
That hurts me.
Yeah.
Given the circumstance, as a person who has daughters, it's like, how can y'all receive that? Right. But I also have beautiful women that I work alongside with, and the narrative to be painted, oh man, whatever it may be, but it takes a woman to bring out, this is how it can come off.
Right.
So in this particular case, I would ask you, do you see how it could come off to the black community where we look at certain public figures to say, he's one of us?
Fair.
Whether we want the attention or not, my question is,
I see where you're going.
Can you empathize to the culture or to the black community by them feeling the way that they have?
Yes.
Okay.
On a case-by-case basis. Jasmine Crockett, Representative Jasmine Crockett, yes. Because I'm on my show doing my opening monologue, going off about the other side, but saying to you, do you think cursing out the president gonna get you what you want? Because I'm thinking about the 766,000 constituents that she represents, along with my aspiration for her to run for the Senate seat in Texas, where she be representing 31 million. So I'm thinking about the end game and saying, I need you to win. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I came out, instead of thinking about how she would receive that. So you're right about that. I did not feel that way about what I said about Michelle Obama. What did I say about Michelle Obama? I said, I revere this woman. We all do. I believe she would beat Trump. She would have beaten Trump.
Okay.
I said, I don't appreciate the fact that you went out on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris and said, alluded to misogyny if we didn't vote for her. Wait a minute. Why are you talking like that to black men? We love our black women. We revere our black women. We trust you. We place our faith in you. Y'all are the ones who check us. What do you mean? We would be misogynistic. How are you going to allude to something like that? I'm standing on that. I'm not budging over that, because I mean that. I would have voted for her. I think she would have won the presidency. So you didn't want to do that, but you wanted us to vote for her, and then Kamala Harris, well, it's the election, and Biden was losing it, and what happens, they elevate you to that position. You didn't go through a primary. You didn't go through the process that you normally have to go through in order to get the Democratic nomination. Me pointing that out, that's facts, that's not feelings. All right? And then there's the Kerry Champion thing.
Okay.
Well, I never said a bad word about her. What I said is, how are you speaking badly about me? I was on the defensive like, yo, I have supported you. You've spoken, you've been going from First Take for a decade. You never said a word about me until the Jasmine Crockett thing came up. You were talking about what Skip did, not me. And it was true that I'm the one that got her hired. Jamie Horowitz was the boss. He wanted her there, but Skip ran the show.
Yes.
And if Skip Bayless didn't want you there,
you wasn't
coming.
Yeah.
And there was one person that Skip would listen to, and everybody knows who that was.
Yes.
It's me.
Yep.
Ask him. He's here. He on Radio Row. Ask him.
Yes.
I convinced him to hire Kerry Champion,
Oh.
which she knows. So how is it that a decade later, because something goes down with Jasmine Crockett, that here you are releasing a video when you had my number and you never called me? Why? And then you're Jamel Hill. Nothing but respect for you. You said that's your girl, so you're going to ride and die with her. No problem. No problem at all. But my point is, when people say black women, last time I checked, black folks are about 50, 60 million deep in this country.
Okay.
Black women make up at least half that.
If that.
If at least half that. 4 or 5 women got a problem, and all of a sudden the black women got a problem with me. All the black women that work for me, all the black women that work with me, all the black women that have reached out to me for assistance throughout the years, and because 3 or 4 people sound off, we got a black woman problem. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I get it, and that's why I can compartmentalize it and say, Cam, that's a profound question. You're absolutely right, and I can see where you're coming from, and I saw it after it happened, and I made amends for it when it came to the representative. But everything else, nah, I'm not owning that.
So
I'm not owning that.
What I would say to this is there's a commonality of where a lot of these issues kind of come from.
Sure.
Dare I say you specifically?
Yeah.
But I would like to say maybe it's the political views that you may have.
Sure.
I can see that.
Do you still feel it's necessary, being in your position of prominence and of concern, why you feel like it's necessary for you to still be in politics?
Let me tell you this. And if you don't know it, you're going to figure it out. You see what we doing here? You got millions of views, bro. It's coming if it hasn't already. You don't get to just be the Cam of old. You don't get to just talk about sports with your boy. Watch. It's going to come down the pike where all of a sudden it's going to be what you got to say about this. Remember, I was doing a sports show when Trayvon Martin got killed. They said, Stephen A., what you going to say about it? You can't be quiet. It's a sports show.
Yeah.
That wasn't a sports incident. They demanded to hear from me. Colin Kaepernick's going down. That's a given. There's other issues. Philando Castillo in Minnesota gets gunned down by a police officer. Police brutality going on in our community. What you got to say about it, Stephen A? They didn't tell me to be quiet then.
Speaking for the
because what they're saying is that you speaking for the culture.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, you one of those voices. You don't get to hide. But then the second I utter a syllable you might disagree with, you want me to hide, make up your mind. It don't work that way. They did this incident where I talked about the woman that got shot, Renee Good, in Minnesota. And what I said was, legally, the officer is justified because he was in front of the car. There was an officer at the side of the car. When she turned to try to get away, he moved out the way and shot through the window. I said, humanely, morally, ethically, there was no excuse to kill that woman. That is ridiculous. That's horrible. But legally, he got the president, the vice president, and the secretary for Homeland Security defending him. He's not going to get touched. I went on for 25 minutes going off about how inhumane it was. They took 4 words out of a 25-minute monologue. And nobody in our community says they took 4 words until Dr. Umar Johnson came out and said they took 4 words.
Yeah.
He said a whole lot of stuff. But this is what they do. Because understand, when you in this game, you get to a point where 1 of 3 things. Remember, I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to everybody. Remember what they do to you. They try to ally you. If that doesn't work, they try to neutralize you. And if that don't work, they try to destroy you. That's the game. Who do they do it to? Cats who make noise. And I make noise. And so when they look at it from that standpoint, somebody would say, well, why do you want to get into politics or anything like that? I didn't say I wanted to get into politics. I said I was asked to. I'm doing social commentary. I'm doing political commentary. In my perfect world, Cam, I got to give up my money. Did they tell you that? I got to give up my money. I run for office. You know me. You become my boy. You know that. Is your brother trying to give up his money? Am I trying to give up my? Is my money going away?
Hello.
Me?
Yes.
Me? Please. I like my life.
Yes.
The money ain't going. I'm not giving up that money.
Yes.
But in the same breath, if I got to speak on issues and I have the platform to speak on it,
Correct.
the condemnation comes whether I speak or whether I'm silent.
Yes.
So why not speak?
Yeah. So last thing for me is, what's the end game as we bring everything full circle? It was
to make
a perfect soliloquy of how you use the word.
Soliloquy.
Now, what's the end game or what's the vision for you in politics that people should know?
I have no interest in being in elected office. The reason why it seems conflicting is because I have a very strong interest to be on that debate stage in 2027 against those politicians who I believe are responsible for dividing us as a country. You got to remember, I'm not an aficionado on the issues, but I don't have a political record. They do. No. I didn't divide us. You did. I wasn't corrupt and dismissive and insensitive and politically expedient. You were. You did this to us. Now, I may not be an aficionado now, but come 2027, if I was on the debate stage, I promise you there ain't an issue I won't know, and I'll be ready. That's where my interest lies if I elect to do something like that. Outside of that, it's just being a voice for our community and making sure that cats know, well, no matter where you stand, that you always have me as a platform to utilize to bring attention to the issues that need to have attention brought to it so you, the public, can decide. I'm not taking sides. I'm letting you know how I feel, but I'm not condemning you for feeling differently because you might know more than me and you might educate me and change my mind. But at least you have one of us who has the platform to make that kind of noise that's going to resonate with our community, and that's what I'm about.
Man, the thing about it is, in closing, I wouldn't be on ESPN if it wasn't for you. Yeah. And when I say if it wasn't for you, your words, how you spoke life, how you gave reassurance of saying, Cam, be you, bro. Be you. I hear those words often. And the critique that nobody sees. You got to speed it up. Yeah. Hey, work on this, work on the tone. Hey, this live TV, you have to get to your point faster. All these things I take to heart because I understand when I was playing, there was an expectation, there was a misunderstanding that I had to people who covered me.
Yeah.
Being on this side, I see some of the same pitfalls that they've casted over you. And I just want to tell you, appreciate you. A lot of people, whether they want to give you the credit or not, have benefited off of Stephen A. Smith, directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
And you've always been a person to keep it 100, whether it was uncomfortable for you to do so or not. And I just want to say thank you for that, bro. And don't change.
I owe you a lot of gratitude, man. You know, I appreciate those words, but you've worked your ass off. And you never cheated the show. You don't cheat the industry. You care. And what you don't know, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to get better. And in the end, that's what I want my legacy to be. I want my legacy to be, cats are in this business, and they like, yo, Stephen A. didn't turn his back. He tried to help. Yeah. He tried to help. And because I don't want to be the only one up here. And I'm not going to stay up here forever. Don't want to. At some point in time, I want to retire, believe it or not. At some point in time, I want to relax. I want to live my life. You know what I'm saying? Got my crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I'm good. I got my crib. I got my crib. You know, I'm fine. You know, I just want to enjoy life. But it's important that you got cats. It's not about whether people agree with you or disagree with you. It's about you being informed as best you can and you caring. Yeah. And I know that I'm that person. And I know that a lot of cats that I try to help, especially somebody like you who's made me very proud, I know that you care as well. So keep doing what you're doing, bro, and I'm always here for you.
One thing I would like to say is, too, man, from an HBCU grad, obviously you see Cam, he's been in the game, but you really do inspire me from not playing the actual game, but being prepared. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to say thank you and what you do for us as a culture, but also people from the HBCU community. One last thing before we wrap out. You all talked about telling the truth, being outspoken. Us as a culture, what are some things that that we need to do to be able to respect truth? You know, whether we like it, if it's on our side or it's not on our side.
Pay attention to people who don't want you speaking the truth and ask yourself what their agenda is. Mm-hmm. See, what I'm saying is this. It's not, first of all, I don't tell half the truths I know.
Yeah.
Because every truth ain't meant to be told. Everything ain't everybody's business.
For sure.
Like I told you, there's things that I can't even tell you some of the things that I know about coaches, players. Ain't that my damn business.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to say. On the football field, on the court, in the ring. No, I see that. Everybody see that. Nah, but that stuff behind the scenes, that's your business. You know, every truth ain't meant to be told, but when you gonna speak it, speak it, all right? And do the best that you can and understand that those who don't want you to do it, ask yourself why. Why? If you are in sports, why don't you want me mentioning that you shot 2 for 20? If you Ja Morant, for example, why don't you want me mentioning that you shooting 23% for three-point range? Because it's 23%. You wouldn't care if it was 43, but you care that it's 23 because you know you're supposed to be doing better, even though you could ball, and we know you could ball. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you in politics. You on the right, you might not want me pointing out some of the stuff MAGA wants because it's antithetical to what black folks want and need. Correct. But if you on the left and you've been getting the black vote since 1964 and you coming in with us with the same old song and dance every year, every 4 years, this guy's a racist. Reagan was a racist. H.W. was a racist. W was a racist. Yeah. Trump was a racist. Well, at some point in time, okay, fine. What about you? Yeah. Because last time I checked, you had some racists working in the Democratic Party. Robert Beard out of West Virginia that was 97 years old, along with a few other people, and some of the decisions. I'm just making the point that you can make the same argument from both sides. So because it's from both sides, you don't want me to say that truth. Yes. And because I say that truth, you're going to get a few trolls to call me a sellout. Yeah. I'm the kind of person that, F the trolls. Let me see who's going to listen to that. Because that's how I know who to stay the hell away from and who to listen to. Like, you know me, you know about me. You gonna let them say that about me? Yeah. Knowing who I am? Yeah. You gonna let them do that? Now I know. And this year, I'll end up by saying this. These last 2 months, there's a lot of people that have disappeared from my circle. I thought we were cool. I thought we were cool. And now I know. And you don't have to worry, they don't have to worry about no vengeance, no nothing like that. You're just erased. Yeah. You don't matter because you full of it. So go on about your merry way. You live your life, I'm gonna live mine. Yeah. My life is pretty good right now.
Man, listen, we're getting so many different signs of saying like, we gotta wrap this up.
That's right.
Man, Stephen A., appreciate you, bro. Right. Thank you in many ways than one. Yes. We have to get you on Funky Friday.
You know what it is? I'm really upset. And I got to get on my team about that, too. You know, I've been down. I'm going to tell on you a little bit. I've been down to your spot, your studio in the ATL. It's pretty damn nice. It's pretty damn nice. But all I know is that you ain't had time for me.
Stop. No.
I'm like,
the devil's still lying in 2026. We was down
Where's my hour and a half?
Listen.
Where's my hour and a half? In the ATL, too?
Devil's still lying.
You know, I look for excuses to be down in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? I look for excuses to be down there. What's up?
When I get the opportunity, when we do have the opportunity to sit knee to knee, man, it's gonna be one for the ages.
No
that
doubt.
I look forward to doing it.
No doubt.
And the legendary Stephen Anthony Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you, bro.